Okay, you know the scene. You're in a room, it's full of new people, and then you hear those dreaded words, let's go around and introduce ourselves, right? By the time person 3 is done, your brain is totally fried. So today, we're going to break down how you can craft a 30-second introduction that doesn't just get heard, it actually gets remembered. No, really, take a second and think about it. That last big meeting, or that workshop, or a networking event you went to. If you're like most of us, the answer is probably 1, maybe 2 if you're super lucky. Most introductions just kind of blur together into this one long, meaningless list of names and titles. But why does that happen? Well, here's the core difference. The standard playbook is basically just a verbal business card, right? You say your name, your title, your company. But a memorable intro, that follows a totally different path. It's built around focus, a little bit of surprise, and a real connection. This is the big shift from just reciting your resume to telling a tiny, interesting story. And that's really the heart of the problem. A standard intro is just you broadcasting your credentials out into the room. And honestly, it's a huge missed opportunity. The real goal isn't just to state who you are, it's to create a spark, a reason for someone to actually want to talk to you later. Every single forgotten introduction is a potential relationship that just never got started. So, how do we fix this? Well, it turns out there's a really simple, tested formula that can completely transform your introduction. It's powerful, and maybe the best part of all, it's incredibly quick. That's it. 30 seconds. That is all it takes to completely reshape how people see you in a professional setting. You don't need some 5-minute monologue. All you need is a really well-crafted half-minute that packs a serious punch. And this formula is broken down into 3 simple, totally manageable steps. This isn't about memorizing some complicated script. It's just about structuring a tiny, compelling story about yourself, one piece at a time. Okay, so here they are. Step 1, your name, plus a present focus. Step 2, an unexpected but relevant fact. And step 3, a connection to the context. The reason you're all in the room. Each of these pieces builds on the last, and it creates this complete and engaging picture in just a few sentences. So first up, your name and just one present focus. Now notice what Sarah doesn't do. She doesn't list her full title or her last 5 jobs. She gives us the one thing that's most relevant and active for her right now. This gives everyone immediate clarity without totally overwhelming them with information. Okay, next comes the secret ingredient, that unexpected but relevant fact. This is the human element that makes people lean in. For Sarah, mentioning that she started in customer service is a little surprising, but it's also incredibly insightful. It tells us something real about her values and her approach. It's not just some random hobby, it's a piece of her story that adds real depth. And finally, you tie it all together with a connection. This is the step that turns your introduction from a monologue into an actual dialogue. Sarah makes it about the other people in the room. She's showing that she's not just there to talk, she's there to listen and to learn. And that creates an immediate, natural bridge for someone to respond to. So we have the what and we have the how. But why is this simple 3-part structure so much more effective than what everyone else does? Well, the psychology behind it is actually pretty fascinating. You see, it all comes down to how our brains are wired. We are built for stories, not for data dumps. The present focus gives us just enough context. The unexpected fact adds a memorable human detail that makes you stand out. And the connection creates an open invitation to engage. People forget titles and company names almost instantly, but they remember a good story, especially one with a little twist. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You have to shift your entire mindset. An introduction isn't a performance, and it's definitely not a reading of your LinkedIn profile. Its only purpose is to be the spark that ignites a real conversation and maybe a genuine professional relationship. So let's start putting this into practice. From now on, think of your introduction as just that, an opening line. This is the new definition of success. A great introduction isn't the one that perfectly lists all your credentials. A great introduction is the one that makes somebody else in the room think, that's interesting. Tell me more. It's what makes you approachable, memorable, and, someone people actually want to connect with. So the next time you're asked to introduce yourself, don't just give them your title. Give them a hook. Give them a tiny story. So think about it. What unexpected fact, what little connection can you share that will make your next introduction the one that everyone in the room actually remembers?